we wanted to be an experience-led brand. Events for us, whenever marketing spend to get eyeballs. We can't do marketing awareness as such a young brand. Everything needs to be kind of like revenue profit generating for us. So we were like, if we're going to activate at Taste, we need to make this a destination that people love. They're not just coming here for one drink. Like, how can we make it super, super sticky? And this is where we built our cult-like community. And we could see that this was the most powerful customer acquisition tool that we could then use to drive people into our listings.
Welcome back to Getting to Grow. Hello, Happy New Year. Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode and the newest season. If you're new here, welcome to Getting to Grow. This is the founder podcast chatting to the best founders in FMCG. If you aren't new, welcome back, and I really hope that you enjoy all the episodes coming in 2026. Charlie is a 3-time founding member of startup brands, taking each from 0 to 1 million within 18 months. Across different categories, channels and countries, including launching operations in the US and Australia. He is now the founder of Plug-in Brands, an award-winning outsourced FMCG sales agency working with the fast-growth food and drink brands, and Dive-In Agency, a TikTok shop agency helping brands turn social commerce into real revenue. With a background in go-to market strategy, brand development and distribution through retail and wholesale channels, there isn't anyone better placed to help you supercharge your brand. Charlie and the Plug-in Brands team work with a host of brands, including Moju, Muller, Clipper Tea, Who Gives a Crap, and Lovecorn. So if you're in need of an extra pair of hands to really step on your growth this year, Charlie is the guy you need to be in touch with. Sam Lawrence Recruitment. We all know that finding the right people or the right job can feel really overwhelming, and that's exactly where Sam comes in. He really just gets it. It's not just about ticking boxes, it's about connecting the right people with the right opportunities. He takes the time to understand you and exactly what you're looking for, whether you're building a team or taking that next career leap. So definitely get in touch. Trust me, you'll be glad you did. Getting to Grow is also brought to you by the Coconut Collab. And full disclosure, as I'm sure most of you are aware, I work there. So I know how much love goes into everything that we make. We're all about creating delicious, dairy-free, plant-based treats that do not compromise on taste. From our creamy yogurts to our indulgent desserts, everything's made with coconuts and a whole lot of care. If you're looking for something naturally good but seriously tasty, and my favourite is just our natural coconut yogurt, I have it most mornings with granola and lots of honey. Trust me, you're going to absolutely love it. Welcome back to another episode of Getting to Grow. On this week's episode, we have Wynter Karo, who's the co-founder of Pimentæ, which are the most amazing tequila can cocktails out there that you guys can get your hands on. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here.
It's gorgeous. I love it. Your energy, everything.
Amazing. Yay. Well, firstly, massive congratulations on your round of investment.
Thank you. Honestly, 9 months of blood, sweat, tears. It honestly drains the soul out of you, but it's also the most exhilarating thing in the world. Kind of being able to announce it to the world. It's very validating.
Really?
Yeah.
And what was that process like?
So... we're at a position now in our business where we're at an inflection point where we're starting to scale. We've got some really exciting names on the cap table, which I think naturally means you've got the credibility, you've kind of got the commercial listings behind you. So we've got the Waitrose, British Airways, Co-op, all of those guys. So it's all about, I guess, finding the right investors. And I guess the macro climate for investment is a lot more challenging this year. People are more prudent with where they're spending money. VCs are focusing on profitability over growth and things like that. So it's navigating a lot more conversations to find the diamonds who you want to kind of be on your cap table, because I guess we always say our shareholders are a reflection of the business, and no is the most defining thing sometimes. So it's an arduous process for sure. But landing on the investors that we have for this round, I can't even tell you, we've got the best backers. It's so exciting. It's so exciting.
And where are the funds going to be spent?
So this year's really exciting. So we're absolutely in scale mode, which means that we're expanding into retail. So a huge amount of that will go into activating those listings from like a trade marketing, digital, out-of-home point of view. We're doing a lot in EU at the moment.
Cool.
So we've got our first pallets landing in Ibiza. And
amazing.
Then we're doing a Q4 launch into the Netherlands, which is really, really exciting.
Nice.
And just kind of building out those case studies of how Pimentæ can work in other markets before we go further afield. We're growing out our team of 7 to hopefully 12 by the end of the year as well.
Cool.
So we're in the process of bringing on new talent, which is epic because 7 human beings might seem like a lot, but it's really not at all. And then new product development as well. We want to be famous for one thing, which is tequila cocktails. And with that comes MPD, and we've only got 4 flavours at the moment, which are spicy, Tommy's, cucumber and grapefruit. And we've got 2 more in the mix, which are coming soon.
So fun. Now, you mentioned something interesting just then about scaling, and I read a quote the other day which really like hit home, and it was like, I'd rather scale too quick than sit still.
Yes.
And I totally agree. I think the scariest thing in life is sitting still, and I, like you, am a doer and a go-getter. So if I'm not moving, it's terrifying.
I couldn't agree more. And I think similarly to you, I'm a salesperson. And I think it's born in your DNA to have this kind of like fire inside you where you feel this guilt and almost like a little bit of shame if you're not constantly pushing the business forward. And if you're in a really, really small team, you are the only people shifting the dial. If I don't wake up and like do those outreach emails, if I don't like physically go and hound people face to face, like the work's not getting done. And as you scale the business and you go from 1 person to 2 to 7, the same mindset has to still be instilled with how you grow the business. Whilst you've got that momentum, you have to strike hot, which is why hopefully like over LinkedIn, you can see that we are always doing so many different things in every single channel, so we can really build that relationship with the consumer and continue to scale, build those relationships, rate of sale in retail, get all of those listings. And ultimately that's how we've got to a place where we can now start looking further afield to markets like the EU, because we're kind of growing our blueprint in the UK so quickly now, which is so exciting. But like you say, you need to shoot while people are speaking about you, otherwise you become irrelevant really, really quickly.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge to date with Pimentæ?
You know what? It's definitely the operations side of things. So the really unique thing, I guess, about our proposition is we offer all of our RTD cocktails in multiple formats. So that's 20-litre kegs, 5-litre bag-in-box, 50cl bottles, and 125ml cans. And anyone would think that there was a manufacturer out there who did it all in like a centralised hub. But for the last 4 years, we've had 3 different manufacturers. We've had to manufacture half of our products in 2 different places, which means getting all of our ingredients blended in different places, which brings liquid consistency issues. And that's been really, really challenging because we've always wanted to create this unique halo effect with our consumers and have products in every single sales channel. So bars, pubs, planes, restaurants, trains. And with that comes different formats. And it's always been something that we've done since year 1 of launching the business. So being able to streamline our supply chain and operations to manage our forecasts, our cash flow, grow in all of these channels with huge retail accounts, it's been a really difficult process to navigate. We've now got a head of ops, which is unbelievable, who can help us manage all things start to finish, supply chain, forecasting, cash flow, which is epic. But getting to that point has been really, really challenging and time consuming.
Yeah, I think you don't think about everything that goes into it as a consumer. You know, you walk down the supermarket aisle or you go out for dinner and you have your cocktail. You have no idea how that initially started and got there. So like the operation stuff, if you can't get that right, your whole business doesn't work.
100%. It's the foundations that underpin the whole business. If you now, thankfully, we've got a manufacturer that in-houses everything for us. It just saves so much on your cost of goods as well, because as you well know, if you're not in a positive margin situation, you can't scale your business, you can't showcase a path to profitability, and your supply chain can literally single-handedly turn a margin like accretive product into dilutive, which is not what anyone wants.
Yeah, no way. And going back to the beginning, what were you doing before?
So corporate jungle. So
Hey.
I was at IBM. I did a placement year at IBM for a year whilst I was at the University of Leeds, graduated and went on to the commercial graduate scheme at Sky. And I did my grad scheme in commercial propositions. So everything from commercial trading, strategy, digital propositions. So my whole role was essentially building business cases to launch commercially viable products and then working with every single function of the business from like finance, legal, marketing, go-to-market strategy. So all super transferable to what I'm doing now.
I mean, like so transferable. Wow.
Yes, I loved it, but so many parts of me whilst I was there were constantly asking myself, like, is this it? Like, it didn't feel purpose-led or meaningful. And I would walk into work some days and I can remember just like so viscerally thinking when I would walk through the gates of Sky being like, is this it? Like, I'm good at it, I can do it, but am I fulfilled? Is this like what I'm meant to be doing? And whilst I will never ever regret that, I think it was the perfect stepping stone for me to realise exactly where I didn't want to be in order to self-eject and throw myself into this.
I think actually that's sometimes really, you know, people might not know where they want to go, what they want to do, but if you know what you don't want to do, that's also really, really, really helpful.
I always say this to people, it's equally as valid figuring out what you don't like. And I think anyone who tells you they've left university and they know exactly what they want to do is a liar. You need to move around so much to figure out what that thing is that like sparks fire in your belly. Is it like sales? Is it being client facing? Is it the numbers? And a lot of people get pigeonholed down, I don't know whether it's like a corporate job, or maybe also they might jump straight into the startup life and they don't try enough, they don't move enough, and some people get comfortable and they settle. But we have one life, it's so full of diversity. Why would you settle for anything?
Ever.
Literally.
Don't settle. Absolutely not. Genuinely, that's terrifying, the thought of settling.
No, like the word settling, coasting, anything where people are just like uncomfortable, it terrifies me.
No, you mustn't.
You always have to be like a little bit terrified, a little bit anxious, because it shows you care, and like that's the fire that will fuel you to continue that journey of like self-growth.
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Exactly that. And it feels weird, but you're like, when you come out the other side, it's like, yes, and high.
Also, the more you do it, the less scary it does become. And I remember going to an event at the Ned and seeing the amazing lady who runs Fuck Being Humble.
Oh my God, yes.
And I just thought, fuck being humble. Like, don't do that, because you then just go with everyone else. You're then just a sheep in a field. Like, be the black sheep. Don't be humble about it. Be like, no, I am good at this. I'm going to go and get it.
100%.
Yeah, I want this. And, like, show people. If people don't know, or you're not telling the world, people don't know you're good at it.
And I think, unfortunately, like, women have been brought up in a space where if we do that, we're seen as arrogant, or whereas men, it's like you're super successful. Whereas if we shout about our wins, we've been taught to kind of be a little bit like quietly humble. But ultimately, to what you said, like if you think the same as everybody else, you're going to get the same outcomes. And I think this is the most powerful thing in any role, any startup. Just like, it's just such a good mindset and a philosophy to have in everything you do, whether it be relationships or your job. Like, it's not saying go out and like start your own business and do something that no one else has. I just think it's a philosophy that you should carry with you everywhere and always celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
Always, no matter how big or how small, no one else is going to do it.
No, totally agree. If you don't, like, you're your own best, like,
100%.
What's the word?
Cheerleader?
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of your own hype woman.
Amen, every day. Like, I wake up in the morning, I'm always like, I've become like a little bit of a morning journaler, but I'm just there, like, 3 things that, like, I'm fucking killing this week.
Yeah.
Just write it down.
Yeah.
And it really does solidify in your mind, like, I am so worthy. Actually, I am above, and I'm going to skip to work as a result of this, because you just need to remind yourself. No one else is doing it. And I think that's what we need to instill in other women as well. It's so important.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Highlight and echo everything you said. Underline it and bold it and italic it. And, like, you know, you make something on a sheet. Like, that is what I've just done in everything you just said. So you started in 2021.
Yes.
With Alice. So how do you know Alice?
So me and Alice went to the University of Leeds together, lived together in our final year at uni, always been really, really close friends, but there was never any talk of starting a business at university. It's very much something that we just slipped and fell into.
And why tequila?
So myself and Alice actually travelled around Mexico with each other. I think it was during our second year of university. And we actually realised it's this incredibly complex and sophisticated liquid when balanced correctly. Not something to be shot, but something to be sipped and savoured. And we realised that there was this incredibly negative perception of tequila in the UK, fueled by our shot culture. I also think the Sierra tequila bottle with the red sombrero hat, everyone just rolls their eyes and thinks to a night they'd rather forget. And little do people know.
I can relate to that one.
And guilty as charged for fueling that once upon a time. And I guess we realised that people don't understand that tequila's triple distilled. It's the cleanest spirit. It's made from the agave plant, not sugar and grain as other spirits are. And we really wanted to help people rewrite their tequila story. We also had the foresight of having this awareness that the UK is only ever like 3 to 4 years behind the US in terms of trends. Tequila's the most sold spirit out there, ahead of vodka and whiskey. And we wanted to get our foot in the door before it exploded. And people were drinking Soho House Pimentae the whole time. It was hot. It was just like, tequila was like the talk of the town.
It still kind of is. Like,
no, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's here right now.
I was going to say, like, tequila has not, it's still the drink of choice. Like, speaking of Soho House, and I think you're right, they are, in my head when I go to Soho House, like, everyone's drinking a Pimentæ. Like, do they make,
yeah, that house serve.
It's their house serve, right? And, like, it is delicious, and I really love it. Like, I genuinely enjoyed sipping it and being there. And then you've got your spicy marg. So how do you infiltrate Soho House? How do you get that off and you in?
So really interestingly, Soho House, whilst it is the epicenter of all things aspirational and this kind of
they just like ooze cool,
lifestyle-led, cool, bold brand that very much aligns with what we're doing. Our product and their product, like we would cannibalize their product. They have now moved from making it from scratch to making their own in-house RTDs. So I don't think I don't think there's a collaboration to be had. Maybe one day, like in-house, in-room, farmhouse, that kind of vibe. But their Pimentæ and our spicy margarita are one and the same. So there are always back channels, and there have been conversations had, but it's not on the top of our hit list, despite the fact there is a lot of alignment in terms of brand. And
because there's another brand, isn't there, called Pimentæ?
Yes.
Set up by Jude and Sam.
Yes, clothing brand.
Yes. But then they brought out the RTDs, which I bought in lockdown, I want to say. But then you got like, they were quite cool branded. It was. I don't think they've done another drop, or I don't remember seeing it. Although I think he did take it to Glasgow a couple of weeks ago, and I remember because I saw it on his story, and I was like, ooh, how did he get that?
Yeah. So when these guys launched, I thought really cool. I love their clothes. I've actually met Sam a couple of times as well, and I think they actually, it was really interesting. I was on their Instagram, and they'd actually. What's the word? Like patented the name of Pimentæ before Soho House had, and there had been this whole conflict because they had the original patent for the word Pimentæ, which Soho House were using for their drink, which obviously enabled them call their product that. Otherwise, there would have been a huge kind of trademarking issue. But I've actually tried their spicy margs. They're great. The only thing with them is I think they're made out of fresh lime juice, which means they've only got like a shelf life of a couple of weeks.
Right.
And ours don't have fresh lime juice in them, so they've got a shelf life of 12 months, which means they're kind of like more retail ready and aligned to what we want to do, and that's obviously a huge part of scaling a brand. You need to have that shelf life there.
For sure.
Otherwise no one, you know this very well obviously, like if you're the lower the shelf life, the less likely people are to list your product, or
it's really hard when you're working absolutely, especially if you're working with like 15 days sometimes.
That's a lot. People are like, 12 months, is that it? So I can only imagine 15 days. But no, Pimentæ is a really cool brand. I like what they're doing. The clothing brand's great. You're marrying two lifestyle led products. It's a lifestyle. People are buying into that feeling, the aesthetic that they associate it with being cool. So
speaking of lifestyle and cool, every single event I've been at this summer, you guys have had a stand, and you're always the stand with the most music and people dancing. I love it. So I saw you at Chesterton's Pull in the Park.
Yes, that was.
Then was it Taste? To be fair, they're the only two events I've been to this summer yet.
Henley this week as well.
Henley this week. Are you guys in the
Carla, so VIP area?
Carla, right?
Arena, so which used to be Mahiki.
I was gonna say. Vibe. Okay, interesting, because I went last year and I had such good fun, but unfortunately I'm not going this summer. But I know, gutted. I could still kind of go. I haven't really thought about my weekend plans yet.
We've got tickets, my love, if you'd like some spare.
Okay, yes, let's talk about that. I would love some tickets on Saturday. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going, so.
Are you? Yeah. Okay, fun. And then, you guys have smashed brand, and this is something that I see a lot with brands and founders that come on the podcast, is they have an amazing product. Like, it genuinely is phenomenal. Like, the taste is amazing. But their marketing, and obviously I can't quite say, I don't think that's where, because also I'm not a marketer or brand expert, so also it's just like an opinion of one over here. But there's sometimes you think, you could do so much more with this. So much potential. But like, you guys are also selling that lifestyle. Like, if I have a can of Pimentæ, I'm sat there like, yeah, this is quite cool. Like, you're sat there being like, I could bring a vibe today because I've got this in my hand.
Amen.
So talk to me about like the process. I know this is Alice's bag, as we spoke about just before we came on the pod, but like speak to me about the branding and making your entire brand this like lifestyle and people want to pick you up.
So really interestingly, I think the fact that myself and Alice had zero experience in the alcohol space and coming into it with a blank canvas.
But you knew how to have a bloody good time.
Exactly. I think it was almost this blind optimism, and we weren't kind of shackled down by premisconceptions of what an alcohol brand should look like on shelf, how they should activate, all of these other things. Because in my eyes, when we had launched Pimentæ, the alcohol space was ruled by like market incumbents like the Diageo, Pernod Ricard, all of these kinds of guys. And a little bit like commercial and clinical and soulless. So we knew exactly how we didn't want to show up. And we had also created a product that we were marketing to our own demographic. And we knew exactly what we wanted to feel. And I think people in our generation, they buy into moments to connect and experience-led things. We're not just buying a product on a shelf. It's about how it makes you feel, how it makes you look, what's that elevated sense of lifestyle. And I think Taste London's a really good example of where we really learned that we wanted to be an experience-led brand. So events for us, whenever marketing spend to get eyeballs, like I honestly just like do roll my eyes sometimes when people are like, it's great marketing awareness. I'm like, we can't do marketing awareness as such a young brand. Everything needs to be kind of like revenue profit generating for us. So we were like, if we're going to activate at Taste, we need to make this a destination that people love. They're not just coming here for one drink. Like, how can we make it super, super sticky? And that's where we got the branded VW wrapped in our artwork. We got DJ Willie G, who was one of our friends at the time, Tunde the saxophonist, the 360 rattan bar. And we were like, this is where I would stay for 7 hours and not leave. Like, we're teleporting you to a beach in Mexico. And this is where we built our like cult-like community. And we could see that this was the most powerful customer acquisition tool that we could then use to drive people into our listings. But it also allowed us to create this aspirational lifestyle-led like look and feel where people weren't just buying into the product. They were like, I'm going to buy Pimentae because I'm remembering when the sun was going down at Taste, listening to the sax. And that's where this whole immersive IP-rich brand world came into play. And that's where we were like, this is where the money's at. Because everything out there, everything at Taste was so commercial and so clinical. People were just handing out samples. And we had the music and we had the vibe. And that's intangible. You can't put a price on that. And that's where the brand affinity builds. And you can't shortcut that. And that's why for the last 4 years, we're at 40 events and festivals every single year. And it's not just for eyeballs. They're all revenue generating. It allows people to interact with the product and the brand. And that's where we've built the cult-like community and the following. And it's been the most powerful thing. We call it our armor because no one has quite been able to replicate that magic. And I think it's because it's so authentic and how we build it. And it's something that Alice has done phenomenally well. She is activation queen. She is just all over the visuals. I'm there in the background doing the numbers, like, yes, we can do this one, no, we can't do this one, and then I'm also there dancing and drinking.
I was going to say, also enjoying it. And am I right? I think I saw on LinkedIn that someone put $1,000 behind the bar.
Yes, this is wild. So somebody said that they were having such an amazing time and they loved the Marg so much that they were just going to put £1,000 behind the bar, and that was the equivalent of 100 Margs. So Willie, our DJ, announced like a very kind anonymous stranger has put $1,000 behind the bar. And I was just like, this fills my cup so much because
do you know who it was?
Guy, the team have his name.
Fine.
But he was just like a lovely man, just going about his day being like, I'm having the best time here and I want everyone who hasn't had a Marg to have one because I'm obsessed with your spicy margaritas.
He needs to be an investor.
We've got his details. I'm all over it.
I was going to say, he's clearly a number one fan. Like,
exactly.
You can't buy that obsession of your product. Like, exactly. He had it and you didn't even ask, right?
And it's such a like reaffirming energy to have because I'm like, those are the moments we're trying to create.
Yeah. And what is your favourite margarita?
Oh, okay. So before we launched our grapefruit, spicy through and through. Like, I'm a spicy margarita girl. But the grapefruit margarita honestly just does something to me. It is just so refreshing. It smells so good. It honestly just makes me want to just cause chaos. I have one of those. And I also just think, I'm not sure if you have this, but because I drink so much tequila, I'm very aware of like the level of buzzed/drunk it gets me. And it's such a like happy, clean drunk versus like a wine origin that's kind of like, I'm already hungover half an hour later. So the grapefruit, it smells good, it looks good, I feel good. It's my favourite. Wait, what's yours? Because I recently sent you...
You did, thank you very much. Spicy.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's subconscious of like having so many picantes. That's probably like ingrained in me to like a spicy Marg. But when I think you're right, I actually associate having a spicy Marg with also a good time. So I don't know whether I'm like there like, ooh, I like this because of this.
The classical conditioning, your body's like, oh.
Yeah, but I do love it. But the grapefruit one is delicious. Maybe I need to have a few more to really understand it.
A couple more. It doubles as a Paloma if you dash a little bit of soda into it. So it's a versatile one.
Okay, nice.
She can do a lot.
They can do a lot. And your packaging.
Yes.
So speak to me about the artwork.
Yes. Okay. So again, when we launched Pimentæ, we wanted to make sure that the aesthetic and the label was unlike anything on shelf. Again, I thought everything was like quite commercial and soulless that was on shelf at the time. And we use our labels as a blank canvas to tell the story of the ingredients, the feelings that we want to evoke in people. And the process is really beautiful. It's so collaborative. So me and Alice will start by like collaging imagery that we love. So for example, if you take spicy, you can see Frida Kahlo on there. You've got the Jimadors. It kind of, it tells the story of the ingredients, but also like the bold heritage and the kind of that feeling that we want to evoke in people. And we'll collage it. We'll get a graphic designer to kind of put the pieces closer together just to make it look a little bit more succinct than myself or Alice can. And then we have an artist who will then take the collage and then will hand paint it herself. We will then digitize that and then we can wrap it around the labels. But for us, it's all about storytelling. We want people to look at the labels and be like, okay, like what's going on here? And like every single time you look at it, it tells a new story or there's a new layer for you to uncover, which is why the collage element of it is so important. But yeah, we love the fact that there's a narrative. The front and back label are very different and it takes you on a journey. And I think it's really magical.
I love it. I'd love to wrap a sofa in it.
So honestly,
you need a Pimentæ house.
Robes, curtains, swimsuits. We're just about to do a launch of some new merch, which has a lot of Pimentæ wrap all over it.
You need to get like Tash Oakley and Dev and do like a Monday swimwear. Could you imagine?
Oh my
Or
God.
Hunza. Or would Hunza work because it's all stretchy? It might crinkle a bit, but you get the drift. You need to do like something, oh my God, or like a Pimentæ house. Like the cushions, the poofs are all like covered in Pimentæ.
So like, I think it would just work so well like from an interior led point, which is why like the lifestyle aesthetic point is so wonderful because it filters into so many different avenues where people are like, from drink to this, to this, to this. And being able to have the like a luxury of being able to expand into those avenues is great for brand partnerships.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, it is. Like, I love it. And how do you tackle, so obviously working in alcohol, you're obviously drinking a lot of alcohol, but I'm assuming also that you're, you know, into wellness and trying to stay. How do you balance the kind of, a lot of alcohol with the wellness girly aesthetic too?
So I have been really good at setting boundaries for myself in the week. So like Monday to Thursday, I'm like, don't look at me, don't touch me. Like I'm
a clean
doing
queen.
Yes, exactly. I've got my Third Space membership. I'm doing my spin classes, my cold plunges. Just, it's so important because I think you actually need to be in the right headspace if you're going to be running a business and fundraising at the same time whilst hiring, whilst doing 1,012 other things. Festival season is a different story because I have to be at Taste London, I have to be at Henley, and those events are from like Wednesday to Sunday. You need to be there to like meet with your buyers, you meet potential investors there, and like it's always a difficult balance because like I'm wanting to drink and enjoy myself, but I have always told myself that I don't know, like I personally have never put a barrier around myself in viewing drinking negatively. Like I'm quite good on hangovers, luckily. Like tequila also doesn't drive hangovers.
Yeah.
So if you drink Pimentæ all night, I won't feel unwell. But it's about boundaries. It's saying no is saying yes to something else in my eyes. Like I'm the first person to be like, if I don't want to do something on Thursday with the girls, I'm just like, no. And I don't need to give you a reason why, if I'm being honest. Like no is no and that is that. And we're all very respectful of that. Like we're all older now. When we were younger, I think there was that FOMO. But I'm like, I don't have the FOMO anymore. I just, I don't know, my head needs to be in the game, but it's all about the balance. And I think we've mastered it, and we're very lucky that we see it as a chore. That our biggest kind of issue might be having to find a time to have a day off from having an amazing day out at the likes of Henley or Taste.
Yeah, sorry, don't think that's something you know what I mean, like in the grand it's not
exactly.
But yeah, I think it is really important, and I'd rather, I know, and it is really hard, but I do, and I'm probably going to get some comments on this comment now, but I think like if you want to do something, you make time for it. So in the sense of like, yes, you might have a really hectic day, but like I knew I had to be in this area this morning where we're recording today, but I don't live here, this is in location, but I wanted to exercise and need to wash my hair. That's quite a bit of time that I need. So
big chunk for a woman.
Yeah. So I was like, right, I'm going to go up at 5:30. It's not, I don't want to, but like, yes, of course I can sleep in. And there are days where, of course, you do need that sleep, and that is also super important. But, I'm tired. Sometimes, like, come on. Yes, when you genuinely are, you take that time. But when you're really, come on, you can do it. So it's just like making that time. How would you exercise? How do you do it all? You fit it in. If you want to get it done, you fit it in.
And there's also, I think, a part of us that just operates on autopilot. It's like, get shit done, don't complain. Like, you need to go, you need to do X, Y, Z. And you're just like, it's very... Like, I knew what my week was when I started it. Like, I always know what my week is before I start it. And, like, I mentally prepare myself. And like, I fit in what I can. And if I can't, I don't beat myself myself up.
Absolutely.
We're human at the end of the day.
For sure. And influencer kind of strategy and marketing has a lot of pros. They genuinely are incredible influencers. I'm totally influenced by influencers all the time. How important is that to you at Pimentæ?
When we first launched, integral, now not really so much a part of our strategy. I can tell you more about launch though, because I love this story and I think it's...
You launched with 30.
Launched with 30.
Yeah.
So a week before we launched Pimentæ, myself and Alice reached out to lots of incredible influencers and celebrities. So Maya Jama, Grace Beverly, Conor Maynard, Michelle Keegan. We went with the strap line, if you like Picantes, you'll love this. And these are guys that we knew were drinking them. And also, it was March 2021. People needed content. People were locked in their homes. They were a lot more open to these brand partnerships. No payment, just totally organic outreach. Created these beautiful bespoke hampers with a Pimentæ bottle, a red wax candle, fairy lights, so you could upcycle the bottle, you name it. It was just the most aggressively Instagrammable thing. You could not put this on Instagram. We hand-delivered all 30 parcels between myself, Alice, and her brother. And when we were driving home, we started seeing people posting and the Shopify notifications coming through. Long story short, 30 out of 30 all posted on launch day, paired with the fact that all of our friends were kind of reposting on Instagram. We had so many people messaging us what agency have you got to do this global marketing campaign for you? It's wild, it's everywhere, we can't not see it. And we were fuck, the power of social media. We sold our first 1,400 bottles in 2 weeks. We did about 20k in revenue. A couple of weeks later, Sarah Ashcroft posted it again because she's a spicy margarita girlie, absolutely loved it. And that allowed us to bootstrap the business. And it really put us on the map because we had all of these eyeballs on us. We had some really influential, cool people that we really wanted to be associated with the brand, drinking the product. I mean, do I think that strategy would work now? Absolutely not. 5 years later, there's so little, trust in that space now. But then, amazing. And yeah, it was one of the reasons, paired with events, that we were able to bootstrap the business for 18 months.
Yeah, influencers are they have... It's interesting now, the shift that you've seen and how it's all that authenticity, that's what wins. And if you are gifted something, it's you have to put gifted now. You didn't have to do that before. Mm-hmm. So that has changed that landscape at all. And people speaking into their camera is way more what sells than, a picture, I got sent this, because people don't really engage with static posts as much. It's more reels and kind of video content. So yeah, it's a world out there, social media, in terms of how you do market online.
Constantly have to evolve, and the marketing girls, Emma and Alice, they are constantly just playing this non-stop dance with what's allowed, what's not allowed, especially with alcohol. You can't promote alcohol on TikTok. What's engaging with consumers? It's a constant game of pivoting, changing ads. Is it lifestyle led? Is it product led? Is it UGC led? It's wild. It's all just test and learn, evolve and be reactive, which we can do because we're a small team. But my God, it's a lot of work for them.
Yeah.
That's when I'm grateful to be the numbers guy.
Yeah, I'm I don't have to do that.
That's not my bag.
And you spoke about your retail listings earlier. So you are listed in...
Waitrose, Ocado, Co-op, Oaxaca, Byron Burger, Gatwick Airport, British Airways, in-flight. We've got over 1,000 listings in the UK, which is epic.
And if there was one listing that you would oh my God, turn around tomorrow and go, please take our product, who would it be?
Sainsbury's.
Okay. And in conversations?
Yes.
Nice.
We have incredible, and I'm so proud of it, we've got the most incredible rate of sale data. Our spicy margarita is the second most sold margarita in UK grocery on a unit rate of sale category weighted basis, which is a mouthful, sorry.
Wow.
But it sells so well. And this is from a brand who's only been around for a couple of years. We don't have the budget for out-of-home campaign, which is why the events and Liquid on Lips are so important for us. But the spicy marg is just flying, paired with all of our other flavours as well. Rate of sale is great, but the spicy marg is just... the case studies speak for itself. So yeah, I feel like Waitrose has always been our North Star, and it's the gatekeeper to land the rest of national grocery. And the case studies off the back of it are just incredible. So
yeah,
crossing all fingers.
Definitely. And Waitrose do that? Do they still do that festival?
Yeah.
They do. Are you guys there?
So they've got a summer one and then they've got the winter one. And last year we were the only brand within the whole of Waitrose that had a brand room. And I think it's because we've become known for kind of being able to create these incredible atmospheres with our communities. And we took over, it was maybe the size of that output area over there. And just oceans of people enjoying our margs. And it's amazing that Waitrose would champion challenger brands in that way, because you've got so many, like, you've got Casamigos, like all of this kind of stuff, and we were the only one who got a branded room, which was epic. So another proud moment to have such an incredible retailer champion and see everything we're doing and how we show up.
Yeah. And tequila and working in kind of alcohol, you know, there's a lot of films, isn't there, with tequila, and it's all like cartel-y and it's all scary Mexico drug, What is it actually like to work in tequila?
So tequila is the most protected spirit. It's not like a gin or a vodka where you can distill it in your back garden. There are so many nuances, certifications, exams, so many loopholes that you have to navigate through to even be able to sell tequila, import tequila. It's just... it's crazy, but it's such a small space. Everybody in the tequila space knows everybody, just in terms of like the bulk tequila that you can import. We haven't had the luxury of going to our distillery yet. We're really hoping at the end of the year we can go there and kind of like build those relationships ourselves, because in Mexico with distilleries, I would say the best relationships and the best kind of path to scalability with tequila brands comes from building those relationships face to face. But it's definitely, we haven't had any experiences where it's the cartel or like danger vibes or anything like that. It's protected, it's difficult to work with. That's why there aren't a lot of brands solely focusing on tequila, which is what I learned. High barriers to entry. A lot of people will have to work very hard to kind of get into the space that we're in. But it's an incredible liquid, and it's why so many celebrities are launching tequila brands. Like, there's such a hot spotlight on it at the moment for so many reasons. Just, I love working in the alcohol space, but tequila namely, I think it's we're only at the start of its growth trajectory in the UK, so I can't wait to see how much it scales and grows, and we want to be the gatekeeper of that growth, for sure.
And does all tequila come from Mexico?
Yes, so there are 15 places in Mexico that you can essentially distill tequila.
Okay.
And it's all comes from an agave plant. So like vodka, for example, that will come from a neutral grain spirit, things like that. So that's why tequila is the cleanest of all spirits, because it comes from an agave plant.
Basically salad.
Basically one of your 5 a day.
Basically
really healthy. Would advise drinking 1 shot for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Exactly. Perfect. Sold. Pour it on your cornflakes.
Exactly. I do.
Delicious.
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah, literally. Hang on. Get it straight. Wait, is that something you guys might eventually like kind of look into when it comes to like NPD down the line? It's like obviously you're RTD at the moment, but would there be a Pimentæ tequila?
I mean, we never say never. Right now, the focus is owning the tequila RTD category. And as you've probably seen, RTD is becoming very saturated. Like, Casamigos have just launched their RTD because they it's just the most in-demand format. It's convenience-led, it's premium. Like, it allows you to scale your business a lot more effectively. I guess the price point for entry is a lot lower as well. But I think if we get to a place where we can really grow our footprint in the way that we want to across the UK and the EU and some other international markets, and we've got this incredible brand identity, never say never, because it feels like a natural next step. But for now, the immediate focus is owning tequila RTD.
So is that where? So that's kind of what's next for you guys. It's owning RTD, more flavors in the kind of same format.
Yes, exactly. We've got all the different formats. It's just about bringing out all of the new flavors. So when people think margarita, we want Pimentæ to be the household margarita name. I always say, we've got so many competitors in the space who are amazing and smashing what they're doing. But in my eyes, if, for example, I hurt my back, I go to the chiropractor. If I want a piece of meat, I go to the butcher. If I want a margarita, I want to go to the margarita tequila specialists, rather than like another cocktail brand that are kind of like generalists and they're doing everything. And I'm like, okay, cool, but we just want to be famous for one thing. We want to be specialists.
Yeah.
In margaritas.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
It. My whole world rolls around margaritas.
I think also like when you own your niche and you do that really, really well, you know, you always think of like your path and like your customer, and if you've always got them in mind, exactly of what your kind of purpose is.
100%.
You don't stray off and be a jack of all trades. Like, this is what I do well. I'm staying in my lane.
We don't want to be everything to everyone. We want to be known for one thing. We want to be famous for one thing. We have a laser-focused strategy. Our strategy and all of our sales channels are very much centered on being famous for tequila cocktails. And don't get me wrong, there are some places that are like, oh, it would be so much easier if you had like a full range. And we're like, cool, we're just not for you then. Like, I don't know, like it just makes so much sense to me. Like, why would you have 5 okay products versus having the specialist take every single line, like the beer specialist, the margarita specialist, I don't know, the espresso martini specialist. Like, that's how you curate something truly, truly special, rather than being like, we'll just be okay at everything. It's not a philosophy that I've ever personally understood.
I agree, actually. I think it's good when you know your niche and staying in it and going, this is what I want to be known for.
100%.
And Forbes 30 under 30, that's insane. Tell me more about that.
Honestly, so
oh my God, what goals.
This has been on the list for a while, and I never wanted to be somebody who like craves that external validation, but this is like the one, you know, when you kind of like post an Instagram photo and you're like, oh, external validation, likes from strangers. But this is honestly such a milestone, because you push water up a hill for years and years and years when you're running a business. You're constantly told that 9 out of 10 businesses fail. You've got so many naysayers, so many haters, so many investors who are like, we don't believe in your proposition or any of these kinds of things. So to be amidst the incredible list of founders who have landed Forbes 30 under 30, it's just so much recognition of what we've built. And it was only myself and Alice for the first 2.5 years, and now we've been around for 4.5, and we've got a team of 7, and all of our successes in the Forbes 30 under 30 is a reflection of the wider team as well. I just happen to be the only one who's still under 30. Alice is also, I love that Forbes put in brackets like over 30 now. You may as well have just put like old in capital letters. But it's so rewarding to have all of the hard work called out in that way, and it's such a huge milestone as well. Like, we've worked so hard, we've fundraised when 2% of VC backing goes to women. We've got some of the most epic names on our cap table. We've landed some of the best grocers, and it's only the beginning. So my cup was very full after receiving that news. It was definitely on the list for a while.
It is mental that only 2% of VC funding goes to women. It is actually
honestly, it's 2%. It's crazy. And then you see like government policy trying to come into place where they're trying to increase the salary threshold for angel investors who are able to put money into businesses, and that's the only source of capital that women can rely on sometimes, because VCs aren't looking at us. So for them to say you have to have a salary of 250,000 to be an angel investor, when they full well know that the average bracket for females is 150,000, it's just like, why are we making this so challenging? And it's a systemic barrier. Like, it's ingrained in us from all the way from school, where we're not giving the toolkit to be able to have the confidence or the autonomy to go to market and be able to fundraise or even start a business. Like, even when I think back to my experience at university, so little about fundraising, so little about starting a business. You have to kind of opt onto them as elective modules. And it's like, why are we pigeonholing people from university to go into corporate jobs? Don't get me wrong. I think there is absolutely a space for that. And there are some people who thrive in those environments, and that's great. But there is no spot. Like, I couldn't even have told you the name of 3 startups when I was at university. If I didn't land Sky or IBM or Deloitte, in my eyes, I was conditioned to think I was a failure. So it's nuts that it is such a systemic barrier, and it's absolutely something that needs to change.
Yeah, it is. It does. You're right about schooling, and I think it needs to start young, because I do think kids, especially if you are in academic school and you're surrounded by a lot of academic kids, and you don't end up at a Deloitte or a Goldman or an IBM or whatever it is, you can totally think that you're a failure, and it's like not the case. And I think the school system's odd, because only from personal experience, but like I'm not like I am academic, but I was never in like top set. I'm not like that kind of academic, but I was totally business minded, and I knew that was for me. And completely. I was always the like chatting one and like constantly like distracting others, and like always in my like report was like, she's very distracting. And my dad was like, that is her. Like, we can't shut her up at home. Like, she's not going to come to school and be quiet. So like, tell me like what, like that's not a bad thing. Like, let's look at how she can. I just remember my parents being so fed up of being told that I was just chatty, because like, yeah, she's a child and she's enthusiastic about stuff. Like, that's not that bad.
Because you fit into the classic box of what they want to be, that exemplary student who does X, Y, Z. It's such a tick box thing. School always is those.
Yeah, but I think it needs to start in education. There should be more modules. I did business for A-level, but back then business was, you cop out A-level because it's like, business. But actually, like, I'm glad I did that A-level, because actually that's what's helped me, versus like doing a blimmin' maths or geography. Actually geography is amazing actually, but I could have never done maths. Like, my brain just didn't work like that.
100%. And I think the issue with school and university is there is a huge gap between theory and practice. Like, don't get me wrong, very useful knowing Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
That's the only thing I remember, Maslow.
We need shelter to survive. I'm with you. But
thanks Maslow for saying the bloody obvious.
And I think, honestly, I learned more in my first year of Pimentæ than I did on my 2.5 grad scheme at Sky and working at IBM, because like learning is practice, and you need to be in these impossible situations where like, and this is also where I think your brain, creative problem solving, that is something you can't teach, and this is something so powerful. You have those solutions oriented people who, when the impossible is placed in front of you, you're like, okay, cool, here is the way out. And falling back on like theory and like all of this stuff that you're taught at school and like cell membranes and photosynthesis, it's just like, we actually need to put people in real situations where they're going to be able to like grow their mindset and skill, give them the autonomy and the ability to lead, give them the opportunities. Because I think this is the thing, I think people are scared to make the jump because we don't have the toolkit and we were never told that it's okay, and that's why people settle and they're comfortable coasting in what they know, which is kind of like that corporate life. And it sucks because I'm surrounded by so many of my friends now who amazingly are seeing that people can launch a business without having, like, I went to the same university as you, it's just kind of having that tenacity and fire in your belly. And there are so many people who are now launching their own businesses, which I think is epic, but it's also a really sad reminder that it's taken like 9 years of confidence from leaving uni to be able to go, oh, actually, this is possible. Why is that not instilled earlier? Like, why are we not empowered to do that from a younger age? I think it's the most powerful tool, being able to raise money, being able to get venture funds, syndicates, family offices, being able to extract money from them, being able to understand the financial infrastructure of a business or the different equity mechanics to raise, being able to grow a team, how to interview someone. Like, why didn't we get taught that at school? It like blows my mind that some of the stuff that I'm doing now is the first time I've done it, and I'm 29. It's so important. We should all have the tools to be able to think, I've had an idea, let me go out and execute it. But we don't, and it sucks.
Yeah, it is so frustrating. I feel like I just don't know where do you start? Exactly. Where do you start? Because but that's why I think a placement at university was really beneficial for me, because I went out into the workforce and actually understood, and theory was done. I put the books back and I was like, right, let's go do life.
Exactly. And that's where you learn, and that's where you know how to build those relationships, how you become a manager, all of these kinds of people skills that you can't get taught in a textbook. And people just, like you say, I think it's just like stepping into the discomfort a little bit more, and you can just like unlock so much potential. Like, so many people have so much more to give. It makes me so excited when I hear anyone who's got an idea. I'm like, tell me everything. Let's get it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah, let's learn.
These are tangible steps for like how you can do that. And you don't need loads of money, and you don't need an agency. You don't need any of this stuff. Like, we can be very savvy with very little.
Yeah.
It's amazing what one can do when they really, really like dig deep and want it.
For sure. And if Pimentæ was a person, what would they... I mean, I'm assuming it's you. Like, I'm saying you and, like, you are Pimentæ. But if you were to describe Pimentæ as, like... Yeah, if Pimentæ was a human being and he was walking down the road, what would they be? What would they, like, be doing? What would they look like? How would they, like, their vibe be?
Okay, so I think they are... Okay, and this isn't me, by the way, otherwise it sounds awful if I'm describing myself.
I'm like, gorgeous.
What's that? Okay, so I think they are effortlessly cool.
Yeah.
I think they're the person who always like rocks up a little bit late to the party, but when they do, they're like a magnet. They encourage like people to have like really deep, meaningful conversations. They're bold. They don't follow trends. They set them. They're just... like, they've just got that intangible presence. They're just like a bit of a radiator and a magnet, all whilst being super chill and effortlessly cool.
I want to be Pimentæ.
I want to be Pimentæ.
They sound unreal. Like, I need to learn from... I want to be her, him, wherever. They're amazing. And we spoke earlier about collaborations, but if there was a collab from like a really iconic brand, who would you like to collab with?
Oh my God, it's such a no-brainer for me, and I'm probably going to say the name wrong, but Sol de Janeiro.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I think they are just a masterclass in like multi-sensory branding. Like, their brand identity is so strong. Like, I am teleported to a beach as soon as I see their like Brazilian bum cream. It's all about like body positivity, escapism. Their brand identity and what they stand for at every single touch point is so clear. And I'm all for brands that are able to evoke that intangible feeling and make you feel a certain type of way. Like,
they transport me.
Exactly. I think gone are the days where like mass distribution like solidifies like who you are in the world. It's all about how you make people feel. And I think these guys have done it with texture, with smell, with scent, like every single sensory touch point. I'm just like blown away every single time they launch a new product. And there, I think they would be amazing to do a collaboration with.
We're gonna make this happen.
Okay.
We're gonna make this real.
Okay.
We're gonna co-collaborate on our pages, and we're gonna tag them,
Okay.
and they're gonna see this.
They're not gonna be able to escape us.
Nah, they're gonna want it.
Okay.
Because Pimente's unreal. They're gonna be like, I want to be like that effortlessly cool
Cool girls going
Pimentæ.
up to the party late.
The magnet effect will be happening.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Yeah, it'll happen. Manifest. And biggest, like, obviously, like, falls under 30, like 30 under 30, I'm assuming is like an amazing, it is an amazing achievement, and that must have felt phenomenal. But was there another kind of moment that you were like, God, like, this is, like, what we're doing is amazing, and this feels, like, really good?
So another really, really validating moment for us was, I think it was 12 months into launching Pimentæ, and we actually got prospected by the Distill Ventures program, and their sole investor is Diageo, the world's largest alcohol powerhouse. And we were at Taste London, and this is where it all kind of centers back to the experience-led thing that nobody really does in the space, or were doing at the time. And they prospected us to join their pre-accelerator program, which essentially meant they would give us a significant injection of capital on a safe note. So cash now, equity later, essentially. And there was this whole process that we had to go through in terms of building out the pitch, and then we had to pitch to 15 global international Diageo heads of.
Wow.
And it was obviously incredibly daunting, because we knew if we could land this capital, we would be able to launch our cans, we would be able to make our first hire, we'd actually be able to like inject some capital into marketing. And so much hinged on this moment. And they actually ended up putting the pitch on the same, like, it was the day after, like, a huge event that we had done, and we were running these events by ourselves, like driving up and down the country, camping, all of that kind of stuff. And me and Alice were like, why have they put it on the Monday after this event? And we did the pitch, there was a Q&A, then we just had to sit and wait for an hour for them to call and let us know whether we had landed the investment. And when they called us and let us know that we had landed it honestly, like, every single conversation that I had like with my parents, trying to convince them that like going into tequila like did make sense and we were going to be able to like build this business and a life around it. All of the previous investors who had said no, it was too early, to then get validation from Distill, and their largest backer is Diageo, to be able to use the name Diageo on all of our literature and our investment decks. It honestly was the most validating thing. Like, they're the world's largest alcohol powerhouse.
That's like a big fat gold tick.
Yes, and every single investor who was warm went to hot, and the 200k round closed at 550k 12 months into our journey, which is just unheard of. And I think that was just such a like, we've got this. Where RTDs and tequila are hot. That is what Diageo wanted at the time, and it gave us the like motivation that we needed, because honestly, like, every single day it's firefighting. It still is, but yeah, that was such a validating moment.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much for coming on Getting to Grow. It's been genuinely fabulous sitting down here talking with you, and what an amazing person. And Pimentæ is so cool.
Thank you.
I can't wait to meet her on the street.
Oh my God, we'll go find her in a minute.
Exactly.
But no, thank you so much. You're just so easy to speak to. It's just like you said, it just feels like having a catch up with your bestie.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
It's just chill chat.
No, it's just nice to reflect on things as well. I don't get to do it very
often.
Like,
do you know what? A lot of people say that they actually don't get to. Oh my God.
Hello.
I had a massive panic attack, and I just thought that there was like a gigantic spider hanging out. I was like, oh my God, I can feel it crawling right now. I just have to like hit play cool. That's petrifying. Generally, it's pretty chill, other than me freaking out about spider. But no, yeah, I do. It's lovely to just sit down with lots of amazing founders, and I'm so passionate about this industry. And the whole reason I started the podcast was to just, you know, I wasn't in food before, I was in fashion, and I met this whole world of food and bev, and I just hadn't met people that were so passionate about something before. Like, everyone was just like doing their day job, going home, and I was like, no, this is different. Like, people are genuinely so in. And I hadn't understood that brain before. And I knew I was one of them. But because I'd been in fashion, I was like, I don't know any of me's here. Like, I flipping stuck out. And I was like, this is so weird. Stuck out. And I wasn't me. And then I was like, oh my God, this is home. So now I'm here to just share everyone's story, give everyone a platform to basically talk about the amazing brain that everyone has, and you, the founders, have, because you are the guys that get up and do it. So many people have an idea. Less than 1% of people action it. So, like, let's change that and encourage my listeners to be like, you can do it.
I love that. What an amazing platform you've created. And you're just a beacon of energy as well. Like, you bring out, I don't know, I feel like you disarm people to, like, want to be, like, super honest and transparent, and just kind of, like, leave the ego and the bravado, and you can just talk, and it's very refreshing. So hats off to you as well.
Thank you so much.